Well, hi, I'm Tom Kolba. I'm going to be your instructor for your Humanities 201 course at fall. I hope that you've had a very, very good summer. Maybe some of you even attended classes. We just wrapped up a summer term here a couple weeks ago. So I want to welcome you to fall. I can tell you a little bit about myself before I launch into information about the course. I grew up in Chicago, and when I was old enough, I moved out to Washington and Oregon and lived out there for a long time, and then followed my father and stepmother to Virginia, where I was actually working on a graduate degree in humanities with a school in California, but I did it online while I was living in Virginia. And there I lived in Hampton and Williamsburg, and worked for a Catholic church in Williamsburg for a while. And then once I finished my graduate degree, I was hired by Thomas Nelson Community College, and then 2 years after that, this is 2006, and I've been with Hampton U since 2008. So it's 11 years now that I've been with Hampton University. And I taught both face-to-face and online. Taught in the Phoenix building, and I think it's the building behind the library. Is it called the MLK, Dr. King building? I can't remember the name of it. I had a class in there once as well. Then my father passed in 2010, and essentially I had no family left in Virginia. So I decided I wanted to be closer to my son, who is my only child, and that's why I'm in California right now. So I'm 3,000 miles from you. If you are in Virginia, if you're anywhere else in the country, then we're separated by different time zones. And I am 3 hours behind you in time as well. If you're in Virginia. So when I moved to California, both Thomas Nelson and Hampton U agreed to keep me on as an online instructor. So I've been very, very proud to be working for both schools, and been teaching all these years since 2010 online for Hampton University. So what I would like you to do, these are 8-week courses now. The first thing you want to do is keep looking at all of those links that I have in the left-hand side for the course. You're looking at weekly video notes, so already you can see the links on the left-hand side. I can give you 10 points to start off with for the syllabus if you will just send me a quick email acknowledging that you've read the syllabus. I would prefer that you print it and have it available, but it is 12 pages, so if you just go through it and read everything in there, and then let me know that you've read it, I can give you 10 points for it right away. Textbook. I believe the textbook, you'll see textbook information. The reason I didn't include an ISBN is because I think the textbook for both this course and Humanities 202, they're out of print. And so if you are being led to believe you can buy or rent an electronic version of the textbook, I don't think that's possible. I just went through this over summer term and went to the publisher, and as far as I could tell, these books just aren't being published anymore. So I would suggest trying to secure a paper copy as best as you can. You can go to Amazon. You can go to one called Alibris, Alibris. They represent booksellers all over the country. There's Powell's in Portland, and I'm sure that there have to be some book outlets on the East Coast that might have this. I honestly do not know if the Hampton U bookstore has it or not, okay? Whether or not you have the right version, that's why I want you to look in the textbook link to see that I have the titles of the chapters we'll be covering. If the version you has those titles, then you're okay. Remember, this is history, so pretty much even though the wording might, like if you have a version 3 or a version 1 as opposed to a version 2 or second edition. As long as the information is parallel, I think you'll be okay. And the chapters sort of follow in line. Weekly, I will have discussion boards for you, but I will also provide, there's PowerPoints and there are chapter-related videos, clips that I pick up from YouTube. So there's a variety of sources of information that will help you create the posts that you need to give me each week. The posts for each of the chapter clusters, and in some cases that's going to be 2 chapters, in some cases 3, and I think at the end we narrow it down to 1, the last chapter that we'll be covering in this course, because there's only a few days left by the time we reach there, so I just give you 1 chapter and then you have a post only. That's for chapter 20. But the way that I operate the class is I assign you the chapter readings. That's required. The PowerPoints, video clips are optional. You are required to write a post about something that interests you. You don't have to write one for each of the chapters when there are multiple chapters, just something within them that interests you. And then I ask you to write to at least one other student a reply, and I give you a week. Your work week with me is going to run from Tuesdays through Monday nights, and then every Tuesday I recycle the page and set up the next week for you. With an 8-week course, I tend to leave everything open. All the discussion boards will be open. There's a short essay I ask you to write, and there's a midterm and a final exam. That is all open book. Both of those are. I have due dates for them, but everything will remain open until the last day of classes on September 27th. That's just a courtesy I extend to you because 8 weeks flies by so fast. And I know that many of you are going to be working, you have other obligations, etc., etc. The only thing that I recommend is that you try not to lose too much pacing so that you're not trying to accomplish everything the last week of the course, okay? The discussion boards are not that difficult, especially if I give you the freedom to write about something that you want to write about. Now the other, anyway, go through those links on the left. You're going to, these video notes, I will publish these every Tuesday for you. They'll simply be a way for you to see me every week, introduce the chapter, discuss any upcoming events, etc., etc. That's why, so every Tuesday I'll have a new video for you. Go through all of the links, the faculty information that will give you my office hours, how to reach me, etc. I'm pretty good with emails. I try not to make you wait, okay? I try to check emails every day. So if something very important comes up, I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. If you call during an office hour and I'm not here, it simply means that I've either stepped out or I'm on line with somebody else. So leave a message and give me a good number and a time to get back to you. Let me know what time zone you're in as well. Let's see, and then go through the discussion boards, the essay, and the exams, just so you're up to speed on how this course is going to work, okay? Now, something that I try every term, and it never seems to work out, is that I try to use a live chat room called Collaborate. I think now it's called Collaborate Ultra. I'm hoping that for at least 2 of the chapters throughout the term, that we could have, I could host verbal discussion boards, meaning if you are able to attend the discussion, you would be relieved of having to hand or write out your post for that week. I'll talk more about that, but I think I'm going to try and set that up for the first week that you have 3 chapters, and I think that's 5, 6, and 7. I'll just pick a day and a time, and I'll open up the room, and if you can attend, we'll talk about the 3 chapters. We can ask questions, have a discussion. I think there are more than 20 of you in the class now, so if some of you are able to show up for these discussions, that'd be great. And then you would not have to do your written post for that week. But this, of course, would be optional. I also think that it's a good way, these live chat rooms are a good way for us to get to know each other in a different arena. So that, I don't know, you're not too distant from your fellow students, and it gives you a chance to talk more with me if you have questions, etc., etc. So I try to make myself as available as possible for you, okay? So I think that's it. This first week is just introductions. Go to the discussion board, follow the link, follow the instructions, and put your post in for the first week. Now, for those of you who like to work ahead, I already have the first chapter open for you, chapters 1 and 2. You'll see the instructions in the discussion board on what to do. If by that second week, when you're beginning chapters 1 and 2, you still haven't secured the text, then feel free to do your own research or use the videos or the PowerPoints to help you develop something for the post, okay? Now, you will need the textbook, though, for your midterm and your final exam. You'll need access because you'll need to find the answers to the questions. You can probably, I don't know, maybe you can get by without a textbook if you choose not to buy it, but you'll have to do a lot of online research to finish out the exam, okay? All right, so I think that's it. I don't want to talk too long, but I do want to welcome you back, and I want to welcome you to the class, and thank you for taking this with me. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, for this first week, we're just going to ease into the class with introductions, and then I'll have another one of these videos next week for you where I'll talk more about chapters 1 and 2, and I'll have some more information regarding the first live chat session I want to schedule, okay? All right, have a good session, folks. Make sure you check out the syllabus to see everything that's going to happen throughout this 8 weeks together. And then send me a quick email so that I can make sure that I give you the 10 points for it. Okay, thanks, folks. Welcome to the class. See you next week.